The Miami Heat are on a 6-game losing streak. They lost to the New York Knicks by double digits earlier on Saturday afternoon, and we're in trouble right now. So this is not fun. Something's got to change, and we're running out of excuses. So something's got to give. Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat basketball channel. My name is Amir. Before I get into the video, I just want to thank everybody for their continued support of my channel. I hit my goal of 600 subscribers, so on to 700 subscribers. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate every subscriber. So if you can, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. So again, thank you so much. Hope everyone's doing well. The Miami Heat are not doing well. So we all know that they are on a 6-game losing streak now, and we're in trouble at this point. We are playing the Phoenix Suns, who are hot and have their own big three on Monday. That's not going to be an easy game. Then we're going to play against the Sacramento Kings, who are doing pretty decent, doing better than the Miami Heat at least. And so that's going to be a tough game. And the only easy game we have is next week against the Wizards. And at this rate, who knows if we're even going to beat the Washington Wizards. We lost to the Hawks without Trey. We lost to the Memphis Grizzlies without their entire team, except for Triple J. And, you know, we just haven't been able to win. We lost to the Raptors by 30 when they traded Pascal Siakam. So it's been rough against the bad teams and against the good teams, and even the mid teams like the New York Knicks. They do look a lot better with OG. Still don't think they're a contender or they're going to actually do anything. But the Miami Heat are now, let's see, we're 24-22. We're 8 games above 500. And we're the 7th seed, and the Magic are now a half game behind us. And they're one of the teams that beat us on the streak by double digits. They actually destroyed us. We only scored 86 points total against the Magic. So the Bulls are creeping up on us. They're 21-25, so they're 3 games behind us. So the team that's trying to lose, trying to tank, trying to trade Zach LaVine, trying to trade DeMar DeRozan, maybe even Caruso, they're catching up to us. So this is not good. And our big three is not working together. They're 5-10 this season together. They're 31-35 or 36 now, dating back to last season. It's rough. The Heat were healthy tonight, so we don't have that excuse. So I don't think anybody was out, really. Kevin Love came back. He's been back from that illness. Jaime Jaquez came back after a 6-game absence, and we were 1-5 without him. And still didn't do much, but, you know, he's missed a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever it's been. So can't expect him to come in without some rust. And, you know, Jimmy came into this game aggressive, had 8 or 9 shots in the first quarter alone. He's been averaging 10 shots per game over the past 5 or so. And he looked good. We can't blame Jimmy. He shot 20 shots. He shot the most shots, scored the most points, playing good defensively, had 3 steals. 28 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 for 20, 5 for 6 from the line. So I don't know, man. This big three is not working. Tyler didn't play bad. 18 points, was, you know, 7 for 18, not that efficient. 4 for 11 from 3. Bam, 6 for 10, very efficient, but only 10 shots, 12 points, 13 rebounds, was very quiet. So it's been tough, man. It's been tough. We made a move for Kyle Lowry. You got Terry Rozier, and he's 0-3 right now with this Heat team. And so we need to give it a little more time so he can gel and, you know, get accustomed to his teammates. I think we need to stagger. I think I mentioned this in an episode in the past. We need to stagger Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero, because that starting lineup has not been very effective. So I don't know, man. This big three is not doing too hot. I made a video recently that we should trade Tyler, who I want to apologize to. Not apologize, but we got to stop blaming Tyler for everything, man. This team is flawed. Like, we're having issues across the board, like starting from the top with Spo and, you know, Jimmy Butler, obviously. And then, you know, Bam has been pretty damn good, but, you know, he needs to be more efficient and more aggressive at times. Tyler has been up and down. He's fine. But we've had inconsistency across all of our role players too, so it's been tough. And, you know, Tyler's our 3rd best player. We need to be focusing on Jimmy and Bam, our top 2 players, and our coach first and foremost before we get to Tyler. But he's also a part of it. He's our big 3. He's our 3rd best player. And so he needs to step up as well. So if we don't make a trade for Tyler Hero for like a Kuzma, or add him in to somehow get like a Lauri Markkanen or some sort of player of that caliber, then I still think we need to make one more move before the February 8th trade deadline. We need to make a marginal move, and I have an idea for a small, tiny move. I'm not saying this is the best move possible, but I don't know, man. This team doesn't seem interested. They seem disengaged, and, you know, we might need a small shakeup and try to get new rotational players. We're not going to trade Tyler, so it seems. Obviously, we're not going to trade Jimmy or Bam, so we need to build around them and try to reinvigorate this team by putting new pieces around them. And we could start by a small trade because we don't have a lot of assets and there's not a lot of things we can give up, especially now that we gave our best expiring contract, Kyle Lowry, to the Hornets for Terry Rozier. So anyway, I have an idea, not the greatest idea, just a hypothetical situation. Not saying it's going to make us even remotely better, but who knows? Maybe it could be a positive trade that the Heat can think of. So the trade I'm thinking of is with the Warriors. And so we want to trade 3 of our players for 3 of theirs. And don't get excited. I'm not going to mention Steph or Clay or Draymond. A realistic trade that I think that could potentially shake things up and potentially alter our season and our roster would be trading for Dario Saric, Corey Joseph, and Kevan Looney. So the Miami Heat right now, we have issues across the board. We didn't have a starting point guard that was consistent, and we got that with Rozier, who's not even a true point guard. He's more of a combo guard, and he's had some trouble. But again, we need to allow him to play at least like 10 or 15 games before we can really judge his impact on this team and his fit. But we don't have a backup point guard. You know, we don't even have a true point guard on the roster anymore, but we don't have a backup point guard. So Corey Joseph could be that fit and be our backup point guard. He played for the Spurs. He's been on Detroit Pistons, I think, most recently, before he, you know, played 23 games with the Warriors, and he's getting a little bit of time because Chris Paul's hurt right now and has been out for a while, but he's a capable backup point guard. He can hit the 3 ball. He's defensive minded. Right now, offensive rating, that's horrible. We're 23 now. We keep dropping. We were 15, 16, 20. Now we're 23. Defensive rating has improved. I think we're at 13, but still, usually we're a top 10 defensive team. And right now we're struggling defensively, especially at the point of attack defense and our perimeter defense. And so Corey Joseph, not the best guy, but as a backup point guard, you're not going to get a lot of good backup point guards. He can come in potentially and help run our second unit. So most recently, a few years ago with the Pistons, he did average 12 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 3 rebounds. Right now, he's not doing much. He's only been with the Warriors for 23 games, 11 minutes per game, 2 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. But he's a capable distributor, and he's, again, defensive-minded. So not shooting the best this season, but last season he shot 39% and 41% the year before that. So he is a capable 3-point shooter, distributor, and point-of-attack defender. So that's one piece. His salary is cheap. He's only making, I think, $3 million for this season. So that's one piece. Dario Saric is the next. He can fit in as a power forward next to Bam Adebayo. He is 29 years old. He is a 6'10", 220 power forward who could spread the floor. Defensively, we know he's going to be a liability, but if you put him next to Bam, we need to focus on his offense versus his defense. Dario is playing pretty decent on the Warriors this season. He's been kind of a journeyman. Started off with Philly, had a good second year. He's averaging 15, 7, and 3, and then, you know, kind of went downhill. He's been traded to the T-Wolves, the Suns, and then OKC, and then most recently he's on the Golden State Warriors, but he's doing pretty good, averaging 11 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and he is shooting, let's see, what is he shooting from 3? 41% from 3, which is not too shabby on 4 attempts. So Dario could be a good fit next to Bam Adebayo. He could spread the floor. He can hit the three, but he can also rebound and limit it in 20 minutes. He's averaging 6 boards per game. He's 6'10", so he'll give us some size at that power forward position versus a Caleb Martin or a Haywood Highsmith, who are severely undersized. And that will help us because right now we don't have a solid big man rotation outside of Bam and Kevin Love, who's pretty damn old. So Dario Saric can help fulfill the need of three-point shooting and rebounding. And then last, well, let's go to his salary real quick. So he is making $2.7 million. So super cheap contract. We should have definitely signed him over a Jay Rich, in my opinion, now, in hindsight or a retrospect. But anyway, the third piece that could help us is Kevan Looney, who is a center. So we could also maybe in this scenario have him as our backup center to Bam, or he could start as center and then we could put Bam back to a power forward position so we can get some size. I know he's not the tallest. I think he's like 6'10". I believe he's 6'9" also. Okay. Not super tall, but he is a really good rebounder. He's an NBA champion. He's only playing 20 minutes right now per game, but he's averaging 5 points, 7 rebounds. His main thing is going to be offensive rebounding. Like in the NBA playoffs when they won the championship, he was averaging 13 rebounds per game across the playoffs. But last season, played 3 more minutes, averaged 7 points, 9 rebounds, couple assists. So he's a good pick and roll threat, and he could score in the paint. Was pretty clutch in the playoffs the last few years. So, he's not like the best center that we can get, but again, he's someone who is good at rebounding, specifically offensive rebounding. And so why not? That's an opportunity to get someone who's 6'9", who's a good rebounder, someone who's 6'10", who could spread the floor, and then a backup point guard. So again, not going to move the needle necessarily, but it's a marginal move that could shake up this roster. And for that, so I did the matching salary. So one, we would have to give up Caleb Martin. And again, I don't know if I want to give up Caleb Martin in this scenario, but he's been hurt all year. He's been inconsistent. He's going to walk next year. We're not going to be able to pay him. So Caleb Martin, Josh Richardson, and Thomas Bryant. Those 3 salaries would match essentially for Kevan Looney, Corey Joseph, and Dario Saric. So could this shakeup work? Who knows? Am I willing to see that? I would be willing to try it. I would be willing to try it because we need new players around our big 3. If we're not going to split up our big 3, then we need to add more rotational pieces, and we have half the season to figure it out. And some of these guys don't even need to play necessarily. Corey Joseph doesn't need to play a lot. Kevan Looney would be good as a backup center, I think, for sure. And then Dario could be next to Bam as the starter, I think. I think that would probably make the most sense. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you think it's a dumb idea? Or do you think it has potential? I think it has some potential, possibly. So, let me know in the comments. But anyway, thanks so much. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks.